It is a busy time of the year for just about everyone, and especially for the Salvation Army of New Bedford. They're collecting donations through various sources, including the Neediest Family Fund, to come to the aid of needy families this year, with toys for kids plus items for a Christmas meal. Joining me now to discuss the 2017 campaign is Major Gilbert Parkhurst. Welcome, Major.
Good morning, Jim. It's good to be with you this morning.
Your most visible, well, let's start with a general question. How is the effort going to help those in need on a general overview here?
Well, it's been a challenging year this year for us. As you know, there's been a lot of things that happened throughout the summer. It kind of stretched us for a bit, but we made it through. Now we're getting into our busy Christmas season. We started our Christmas kettle campaign. Things are a little low right now, but they're starting to pick up a little bit.
Of course, you're referring to the hurricanes.
Yes, sir.
In Puerto Rico and Florida and in Texas.
Right.
Salvation Army responded to all of that.
Yeah,
Not necessarily your branch, but in some cases.
Yes, some cases we were there. We represented the greater New Bedford area in Florida. We have volunteers going to Puerto Rico, so this area was well represented.
Your most visible fundraiser is, like every Salvation Army, really, the Red Kettle campaign. That's the one that folks see when they go shopping during the Christmas season, and it is something that people are used to seeing and familiar with giving. How many bell ringers do you have out there this winter?
How many do I have, or how many should I have?
Well,
it's been a challenge. I have 19 stands that I could put people at. Right now, I'm averaging around 12 to 13 bell ringers, and they're out Monday through Saturday. 9 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the evening. We're grateful to all the local stores that allow us the privilege of putting our kettles there so that we can raise the funds that not only support us in purchasing food, toys, and clothing at Christmas time, but they help throughout the year with other programs such as our youth programs, our disaster services programs, meals. Those funds help to support those programs also.
How many, but you still have room for more, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many more?
Well, if we figure from now till Christmas time, we could probably use about 30 to 40 volunteers at least per week.
Now,
and it doesn't have to be an all-day thing. If somebody has an hour or two and they want to volunteer, we have a family just contacted me. Her and her daughter want to go out for a couple hours on a Friday evening. So we find a spot close to their home. They meet us there, and we set them up and ring the bells for us.
Some of these bell ringers, if you look pretty close, might be people you know. They just might be people you know. And you have a lot of folks step forward like that.
Oh, it's great. We have a lot of volunteers that are helping us. Last week we had the Masonic Lodge helped us out at 12 of our stands, which was fantastic. And then this weekend coming up, we have the Rotary clubs will be out for us. The Kiwanis clubs will go out. Different school groups are going out. So as you say, yes, there will be someone you walk by and say, "Hey, I know you." Yeah.
I was coming out of a store last year, and lo and behold, I think her name is Kathy Viveris. I used to know her. I hadn't seen her in a while. Mm-hmm. I used to know her in my previous life, television in Fall River. Yeah. But there she was, volunteering, ringing the bell. And there are a lot of folks who want to help out in that
Yeah, we have a lot of folks who tell us that, hey, guess who I ran into today? Somebody I haven't seen in 20, 30 years, while I was out ringing the bell.
Big fad last year and the year before, I think, was people would, instead of giving a cash gift, they might drop in a piece of jewelry.
Right.
You've seen that. Have you seen that yet this
year? That happened to us last year.
Yeah.
And we took it to get, the ring to get valued. It was a couple $100 for us. We haven't seen that this year yet. One gentleman dropped in a whole stack of $100 bills, which kind of, was a nice surprise to see.
Well, that's a wonderful thing. Look, how important is the kettle drive to the overall Christmas campaign? Is it the number one fundraiser?
It works in cooperation between the Red Kettles and the Neediest Family Fund from the Standard Times. Those are our two biggest fundraisers for the season. it helps, again, as I said, to support us throughout the year.
Yep.
Last year, we provided food, clothes, and toys to brand new clothing to 3,600 families, 3,600 children in the greater New Bedford area. My wife, it's amazing watching her when she goes to buy the clothes, at the different stores in the area. She'll go in and she'll buy 7, 8, 9 shopping carts full, pull off the rack and all the different size clothing for the kids. And so it's nice working with this, the Neediest Family Fund and the Red Kettle effort to be able to do that, to provide the new clothing to the families.
And that giveaway will take place later in the month of December, that distribution, I should say. You're listening to Townsquare Sunday, 1420 WBSM. I'm Jim Phillips. My guest is Major Gilbert Parkhurst of the Salvation Army in New Bedford. I noticed recently there was a work crew from the House of Correction in Dartmouth helping out at the Salvation Army during Thanksgiving, I believe it was.
Yes,
how did that work out?
Well, it was nice. They helped pack the food baskets for over 400 families. And it's nice because the newspaper, we see that at Christmas time, but every month the Sheriff's Department provides a crew to us a couple days a week, a couple days a month, and they help us unload the trucks from the food bank and deliveries. And then they're there most of the month of November and December. Whatever is needed, they jump right in to do it, and they're so happy to be there. The deputy that comes with them most of the time, now Captain Johnson, he just got a promotion, does a wonderful job organizing them and putting together. On the day that we receive all our toys, they unload 2 tractor-trailer loads of toys for us and help set up everything in the gymnasium for us. So if we had to do that all ourselves, it would be a little bit overwhelming. So it's just such a relief when they come, and they get along so well with our other volunteers and everything, with our staff. We're so happy to have them there.
And so I'm glad to hear that's worked out. These are folks
Very
who
well,
are
yes.
nearing release.
Yes.
And
Yes.
hopefully, I think the experience probably humbles them a little bit, even though, being incarcerated humbles them a lot. But this experience, I think, maybe humbles them as well.
It's amazing to see, their reaction when, they're able to help set things up, and then they see the families come through, extremely humbling experience for them.
What's the most difficult part of organizing your Christmas program?
Wow.
Probably a lot of difficulties.
Yeah, trying to pull it all together. There's so many different parts to it. You have to get the toys, taking the applications, making sure the bell ringers are around, taking care of, volunteer, putting all those pieces together. But we have a great staff. My wife and I work well together, putting that all together. So, putting all those pieces together, it's a challenge. But then at the end of the year, we stop and we look and we say, wow, got it done. As you go through it, sometimes I pull my hair out and say, no,
Yeah.
But it all comes together, with all the great help we have.
It's come together for a number of years. Now, how long have you been in New Bedford?
I've been in New Bedford now for 10 years, which is the longest stay, the normal, for Salvation Army officers.
After a few years, people move on in this, in your business. But
and this has become home to us, and we have built such a great relationship with the different organizations, with the different municipalities in this area. Great working relationship with them all, different churches and businesses.
What's the date for the distribution? How many meals will you provide that day? How many families will receive toys? Tell us about that.
The week before Christmas, when I first came, we had 2 days of distribution. Because the number has increased from there, we do one evening distribution. That's for working families, so they don't have to take time off from work. That's something we added. We added another full day of distribution. So now instead of 2 days, we have 3 full days during the day, a half day, and then a half day in the evening. And folks will come in. They'll come into our chapel. They'll be greeted. They'll be given a voucher to a local supermarket, anywhere from $25 to $85, depending upon the size of the family. They'll go into our gymnasium, which is kind of like Santa's workshop in there. It's an amazing thing to see. All the toys will be set up. They'll pick out 2 toys for the families. Then they'll pick out hats and gloves. There's a section for books. Domino's Pizza works with us to make sure every child gets a book. And then there's a section set up with all brand new clothing, and they can pick out clothing for their children. And then that's about it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. If you see our gymnasium, the toys are stacked from the floor to the ceiling practically, and
it is a a lot of work, but the need is there. There's always a need in a place like New Bedford for some reason.
And one of the things we're seeing this year, an increase, is of course, with the hurricane, a lot of folks have come to this area from Puerto Rico. And it's been such a blessing to be able to work with them. It's nice because one of our staff members was from Puerto Rico, and she came in for help a couple of years ago. We were able to help her and her family, and now she's able to help us with the families that are coming in. She's interpreting for us and everything, and we're able to provide food, toys, clothing for the families that are coming in, but also to work with them with the other needs that they have because there's a lot of things they've lost everything. So trying to help them get back on their feet. So it's been a blessing to see that. Here's somebody that was helped, and now they're able to help others that are coming in.
But those folks, I was going to mention that those folks are coming in with practically nothing. They lost their whole lives, really.
Right. Yes. Yeah, we're finding that it's whatever they have on their back, that's what they have.
And so you can help immediately. Long term, though, can you?
Yeah, and what we do is we work with different agencies. We work with our headquarters to evaluate what's needed, and then Salvation Army is there for the long haul. Many years. It looks like it's going to be a long time in Puerto Rico that will be there. Salvation Army is already in Puerto Rico, served over 2 million meals, hot meals. But they're looking now, they're going from one phase into the next phase, the long-term phase.
So you expect more folks in Puerto Rico, in New Bedford? I think so.
Well, what's happening is, as you and I, that's your home. You have pride. You want to hang in there as long as you can. But, there's not much food. The water is not great there. Electricity is going to be a long time, getting back on. So the families that, have been there for a few months trying to make ends meet are now finding that they're just not able to do it. So, I think we're going to have more folks coming to the area.
How can people help in the now? You're obviously preparing for distribution, things like that, but people can still make donations. Certainly at the kettles, but elsewhere as well.
Yeah, they can donate to the Salvation Army at 619 Purchase Street in New Bedford. They can send their check, just designated Salvation Army New Bedford. They can put money in the Red Kettle. They can go online, salvationarmyusa.org, and make donations that way. That's some of the different ways they can do it. Also, volunteering your time. There's a lot of things happening, this time of year. The Red Kettle setting up the toys, distributing the toys and all, and we need help with that. If they want more information on that, they can contact at the Salvation Army at 508-997-6561.
We hear a lot about people in Massachusetts ranking near the bottom of the list when it comes to being generous. The story was just out there this week. Does that surprise you?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Because you see another side.
As I said, I've been here 10 years, and I've seen the generosity from this community and how they stepped up to help us. The different fundraisers that take place throughout the year. There's a big event coming up called Prize-a-Palooza, and there's just so many different businesses and organizations that have come together to support that. The Neediest Family Fund, the donations that come in for that. That's over $200,000 a year that they raise for that. So, that does surprise me that it ranks at the bottom.
Because you see another side.
Yes, sir.
You see the generosity of people, especially here in Grady, New Bedford. It's always been phenomenal. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, when you see the red kettles throughout the community, there is still time to donate. Our thanks today to Major Gilbert Parkhurst. Let's hope for a Merry Christmas for you and yours, sir, and for all of those hundreds, maybe thousands of people that you serve throughout the year at the Salvation Army. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me today, and we wish you all and all the listeners a very Merry Christmas and a great New Year.